So here we go. So let's go through the display and all the settings. On the display, you'll see some icons up top. That's the signal strength there. 5 bars is full signal. Channel 2, there's 4 different channels on this system. I'm using 3 of them. You can see here there's a speaker that's muted. So I have the audio muted on this camera. There's a little light bulb here. That means the LED floodlight is on. So if it gets dark out, that will come on and illuminate the area. So you can control each camera and have the floodlight feature on or off. I guess you'd want it off if you're driving around. I think there'd be enough ambient light that it wouldn't affect it. I haven't tested it. Anyway, then there's record. That means right now it's recording the footage. And then this little spinny thing that means it will overwrite the last recordings when it hits the end of the card. This squiggly line here is the Sense 3 blind spot radar. That means it's hooked up and working. And this just is a file folder, meaning there's videos that have been recorded. Let's go through the menu. There's some on the side here, there's some buttons. I can light them up. There's an automatic light sensor here for in the nighttime, so you can see there's S that switches the cameras, plus and minus, enter, and menu, and power on and off. So I'm just going to hit menu, brings up this menu, and when you want to enter, you just go into the menuing there. So there's volume and mute. I generally keep my cameras muted. I don't really need to hear the sound on them, and the wind sound can be quite annoying on it, so I keep them muted. You can choose when you arrive at a campground, so you could turn on the sound on the rear if you want to listen to someone that's helping you give instructions or whatever like that.
Test 1, 2, 3, checking the audio, checking the audio, test, test, test. 1, 2, 3, check, check, check. Checking the audio on the camera. Test 1, 2, 3.
Next we'll go into pairing. My cameras were already paired, but if you need to pair your cameras, you'd go into this. You'd hit that, and on a button on the camera, you'd hold it down, and then it would sync to that camera. This display disappears quite quickly. That's why it's going away. Picture, if we enter into there, we can see brightness. You can enter in there, you can change brightness and contrast and sharpness. You can see this thing can get really bright. This is what they call an IPS display. That's one great feature. It's got a ton of brightness, so if you're having it mounted somewhere where a lot of light or sunlight is, you can still see your camera. And then down here is that LED I was talking about. Go into that, turn that off. And you can see the little icon gets grayed out at top there. That little light bulb goes gray. That means it's off. And we'll just back out of that menu. Next one is the mirror menu. And this is important for setting up cameras. If you mount them a certain way, you can always flip them, reverse them, or up and down. You'll notice in my footage some of the stuff is backwards, and it seems like it's all wrong when you're watching a video, but you got to keep in mind I'm using this as a rear view mirror. So for me, when I'm driving, it all makes sense. A car comes up on my right hand side, but to this it looks like it's all reversed and wrong. But trust me, when you're actually using it as a rear view mirror, it makes sense. So anyway, that's a good feature to be able to flip everything around to get it all lined up. Now there's Q mode. So there's all kinds of different ways you can view your cameras in that mode, and depending on how many cameras you have or how you want to set it up, lots of options there. And down here is play. You can go in and play back videos right on here. You can also pull the card out and play on your computer. Let's just find one here. There we go. So that's just some footage that was recorded behind the rig. And then next we have record. This is, you can set the time, you can turn your recording on or off. Cover means it will overwrite or cover over the old stuff, and then you can also format the card in that menu. park line, pretty self-explanatory. I don't use it at all, but you know, if it was in some type of vehicle where you want to back into spaces, you might turn that on, and you can set it for each cam. And then we got scan. You can have this thing automatically scanning different cameras, and also that's where you turn it on and off the Sense 3 radar system. So you can set scan time and you can have it automatically scanning your cameras. And then finally we'll go to setup in here. And so you can turn cameras on and off. I don't have a camera 3, so I have it turned off of things. There's a couple of formats. Auto dim. Oops, that is fast. There we go. So auto dim, you could turn it on and off, and that will set the display dim. And then key light is this light over here that turns on when it's dark. So you can turn that on and off there. Anyway, that's about it for the menuing. It's pretty easy once you get it figured out. Nice and clean. Has all the different features.